Omid Scobie's much anticipated book Endgame dropped today, and unlike huge swaths of the British media, I've actually read the book. Thank you to HarperCollins for the advance copy. If you just read some of the headlines, you might think that this book is a character assassination of members of the royal family and an attempt to take down the monarchy. It's not. Or you might think that this book is a puff piece extolling the virtues of Harry and Meghan. Definitely not. It's not hard to find the thesis of this book because it's written in the prologue. Endgame refers to a game such as chess where you are down to your final moves and only a few chess pieces remain. Here's the thesis. Quote, I fear that by continuing to ignore the ongoing constitutional corruption in the palace's inner sanctum and enabling a cabal of courtiers and the British media to call the shots, as well as quietly supporting those who have brought shame and humiliation to the crown, the royal institution is risking untold damage to the Queen's legacy. By Queen's legacy, I also inferred a potential end to the monarchy. Going off of our chess pieces theme, this book is broken up into chapters that either follow individuals such as Catherine, Princess of Wales, Prince William, Harry and Meghan, Prince Andrew, King Charles, etc., and institutions such as the palace courtiers or the British media. The book is not without critique of all of these people. There is a difference between critique and attack. What made this book really stand out for me and kind of felt like a breath of fresh air is the fact that none of these people felt like caricatures. For instance, yes, we hear about Prince William's at times uncontrollable temper, but we also hear about how he was the one to press the issue quickly to the Queen that Prince Andrew needed to be stripped of his titles before anyone else was making moves, and that is despite the media making it sound like he was in lockstep with his father. In Kate's chapter, he does talk about her earlier workload, but anytime he uses nicknames like Keen Katie or Weighty Katie, it's because the media called her that, and he's talking about the way the media spoke about Kate, and he brings up the classism in it. Scobie anticipates the question, if this is about the current state of the monarchy, why include figures like Princess Diana, Harry and Meghan, or Prince Andrew? On Prince Andrew, it's because of the shame that his many indiscretions have brought to the royal family and the public's view of the royal family and their handling of one of their own. Harry and Meghan, it is because of the issues raised with Meghan entering the royal family, such as misogynoir, image manipulation, etc., and the way the palace and the press handled the first American Black family member in the British royal family. Let's just say the optics were not great, and many people have not forgotten that, especially in our world that is modernizing and diversifying. Scobie doesn't travel too much of a well-worn path when it comes to Meghan and Harry. A lot of that we already know about their time as working royals from their Netflix special and Spare, but he does talk about and critique their post-royal business endeavors. He also makes note that the whole unnamed sources no longer speak for us thing that happened back in May of 2023 was actually a cross-comms issue because, of course, people are speaking as sources to the media, just like there are people within the palace or British royal family members themselves that are speaking to the media as unnamed sources or sources close to the family. Truly, for me, some of the most interesting parts of the book and new revelations comes from how the media works. Here's the thing. The bombshell in Endgame is that it's not a bombshell at all. It's just shocking to hear a royal reporter say it. We accept as a species that we have needed to change and adapt and evolve in order to survive. But if you apply that same lens to the British royal family, you are accused of being an anti-monarchist or a Harry and Meghan spokesperson. In fact, anyone who is serious about the survival of the monarchy would be looking for ways to modernize and change and get rid of some of the things that Scobie sees as inhibitors to that, such as the relationship with the media and the palace courtiers. In terms of the royals in the book, I didn't walk away from the book feeling like I was supposed to feel one way or another about a royal. I didn't feel like I was being talked down to. I felt like I gained a new understanding and added some new puzzle pieces to the picture that I am creating of who these people are behind the royal titles. In the book, he discusses how there are these preset storylines, narratives about the British royal family and individual royals, which is also panned out in the media coverage of Omid Scobie, where there is a predetermined narrative of who he is and what he's about. While reading the book, I wondered if this is Endgame for Scobie when it comes to royal reporting. He's been on the beat since Kate and William's wedding in 2011. He's been an honorary member of the Royal Rota, and as he says in the prologue, he is not afraid to burn bridges. And among those people that I believe he is burning bridges with would definitely be Jason Knopf, Christian Jones, and Royal Rota domestic captain Rebecca English. Let me tell you, the part of the book where he focuses on the Royal Rota, it sounds like something straight out of Lord of the Flies. It attributes a quote from a source who says that Queen Camilla was always looking for a little pet within the media, and it sounds like she found that pet in Rebecca English. What's interesting is a lot of these so-called attacks on family members in this book are just quotes from some of the same reporters who are now besmirching the book. Go to the source notes. He's quoting articles and how the media covered them. That's what makes this book so revelatory, that we have someone who has been in the Royal Rota. He was an honorary Rota member along with a representative from People magazine. That's why I think that potentially Endgame is a chance for him to reclaim his narrative and perhaps move on to something other than full-time royal content. There's literally a revelation within the media chapter that forced me to stand up and take several laps around my house. That video coming later today. The book is well researched and it relies on over a decade of cultivating sources and being in the room where it happens. I will not sing. Or knowing some of the people in the room. One of my favorite little tidbits from this book is that the palace aides and royal reporters have a WhatsApp, and that Charles apparently has his shoelaces ironed, which I still can't figure out what the benefit of that is. The book is about the fate of the monarchy, but what it's really saying is that right now we're at a critical juncture that will make or break the future of the monarchy depending on what they decide to do. But the book is not all doom and gloom. He does point out times where there seems to be positive change. He does obviously critique what is going wrong, and he also gives prescriptions for what they might be able to do. This is not a book where there are clearly good characters and bad characters, unless we're talking about Prince Andrew, because I think we can all agree on that. And I think it's a reminder that good journalism isn't supposed to cheerlead or prop someone up. It's not supposed to be a PR apparatus of a larger institution or public figure. That thorough reporting should challenge you, should challenge how you think of someone or how your preconceived notion of them or what you think of a situation aligns with what the reporter has seen and heard. Doesn't mean you need to agree with everything they've said. You can still appreciate journalism when you see it. Highly recommend Endgame. I don't think it's like many royal books that are on the market right now or that we've really seen. I think it's a book that adds context and texture to this current moment. It's also just an enjoyable read. Endgame is out now wherever you get your books, and check back later because I will have a video on that media revelation coming soon.